feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I show it through my attitude. You know I do. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I show it through my attitude. Take it up a notch and clap if you want. I feel great. I feel great. I feel great and I show it through my attitude. I feel great. I feel great. I feel great. I show it through my attitude. I feel strong. I feel strong. I feel strong. I show it through my attitude. I feel strong. I feel strong. I feel strong. I show it through my attitude. I feel strong. I feel strong. I feel strong. I show it through my attitude. One more time now. I feel strong. I feel strong. I feel strong. I show it through my attitude. Take it up one more notch. I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel alive. I show it through my attitude. I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel alive. I show it through my attitude. Break it down. I feel thanks. I feel thanks. I feel thanks. I show it through my attitude. I feel thanks. I feel thanks. I feel thanks. I show it through my attitude. I feel thanks. I show it through my attitude. I feel thanks. I show it through my attitude. One more time. I feel thanks. I show it through my attitude.
I am Jennifer Mann, prayer practitioner emeritus. Please, let's join together now in prayer. This moment is special. It's the holiest moment of all. It's the real one where God lives all the time. The creator of all life resides in each present moment, containing unlimited possibility for life, for magnificence, for renewal. So I accept that each of us, being a part of that magnificent life, is now an open and divine channel by our intention and our attitude to receive guidance and inspiration from this service, from this gathering, from this connection, possibly worldwide right now. So I accept for each of us that the inspiration of this service and this connection and this remembering that there are 360 degrees of infinite possibilities contained within divine wisdom. So transformation is at hand. I accept it for all of us with gratitude and release this prayer then to that immutable law which manifests it for all, the good of all. And I let it be. And so it is. Now, will you please join me in reading this month's affirmation from our Prayers of Wisdom and Vision book? I am generous with my thoughts, attention, and action. I keep my spiritual vision of goodness for all foremost in my mind. And so it is.
Good morning, beautiful people of the Center for Spiritual Living. And thank you, Jennifer Mann, for opening us in prayer. And thank you, Sky Nelson and the wonderful band for taking it up a notch and warming us up. How wonderful it is to be together. And a happy 4th of July to you. You're welcome. I sometimes receive these animated email greetings, and there's one series of greetings, and it has different characters, and one of my favorite characters is Gupta. And Gupta is a Hindu. She works in a convenience store, and she begins her greeting by saying, I just love this, she's practically one of us. But then aren't all Hindus and religious scientists practically cousins? She says, greetings to you, my little cosmic rockets. And she tells the story about a customer came in and said to her, happy 4th of July. And she responds, okay, what's that about? What's that about exactly? And the customer says, it's time to celebrate our independence. And she says, really? What? You're going to be independent from who? From what? She says, after all, aren't we all really just one? There is only one of us here, so you really can't be independent. Now, Gupta says, what I would like you to do is first refuse to let the daily news tax and drain your spirit. Then you can declare yourself to be an independent thinker, and that would be a happy 4th of July. And she closes it with the Hindu greeting, Shanti, which means peace. So in the spirit of peace then, happy Independent Thinking Day. Yeah. And just while we're getting all excited about that, to be sure, independence of thought has consequences and rules. You and I have the freedom to anchor our independent thought in that which is compassionate, kind, and connecting, or we can anchor it in that which is uncaring, unkind, and isolating. For that reason, we recommend a daily spiritual practice to keep us connected to the power that unites all of creation, so that when we do think independently, our thought is rooted in that which connects us interdependently and leads us to life and liberty and peace, which is the source of all joy and happiness. I am Edward Viljoen, the senior minister here, and I am so happy to welcome you here today. I'm particularly happy because we have with us today, for the first day on the job, our new assistant minister, Reverend Russ Laguerre. He's down there. And I've asked him to share our to read our announcements to us later on in the service today, so we can start to get to know him. He's going to tell you a little bit about how we're planning to get to know him. I also want to let you know that there are donation baskets at the exit, so you're welcome to drop anything in there that you would like. Well, not anything. You must take your children home with you. And for those who prefer to do online donations, that is available on our website, cslsr.org. And for those of you who still have checks, I do, and enjoy writing a check, please feel free to do that and send it to our mailing address, 2075 Occidental Road, Santa Rosa, California, 95404. And thank you again for all of the beautiful notes and cards and appreciation that we receive in the mail when you do send things to us. We read them and are inspired and encouraged by them. Some news for you. Starting on August 1st, we're going to have 2 services, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And so, yeah, that is super exciting. Do you know that the greatest challenge to re-entry is communication? I bump into people all the time, and guess what they ask me? When are you opening? Well, 5 weeks ago. So this is where I can enroll you to assist me. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, we're back at 9 o'clock until August 1st, when we will have 9 and 11. Now, we're working on bringing tables and chairs into the social hall so that we can have a truly social atmosphere in our social hall. So that's coming, and we're working on coffee. That's coming, because it's quite disorienting to be here without coffee. So we're working that out. Coffee and spirit are the same thing to me. We're sadly not yet ready to open our youth and family program. There are a lot of regulations we need to follow. But bring your children to services. Bring them in. Let them be rowdy. We want them here. All right. We are governed, guided, and inspired by a vision of a healthy, loving world here at the center. We call it the global vision. And it inspires us to do what we can to show up in the best way that we can for the good of all, as you heard in the prayer, and to be an inspiration as we take our place in the community of beings in this world. Now, I know that there is something here today for you, to help you, to assist you, to guide you, to draw you into your own vision for your life. And that something is in between the music and the prayer, even the announcements and the meditation. So I invite you to relax into this moment and to let it minister to you. Somewhere, something today is for you. Welcome.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the Son, God is the Son, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light. God as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher Fritchie and the wonderful band. We're getting used to being up early again and singing first thing in the morning. I'm sure you appreciate 9 o'clock rather than 8:30. Yeah. All right. Our topic today is "We hold these truths, ... which is the beginning of one of the most influential and famous phrases in American English. And the phrase continues, "We hold these truths to be self-evident." Self-evident means to be so obvious and so clear that it needs no explanation. So what in your life is so obviously clear that it doesn't need any explanation? That's a good question, because there's so much in life that isn't clear, right? Or obvious. So many nuances and complexities and so much mystery. And life is constantly changing and evolving. Like the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, the only constant in life is change. Now, well, in our teaching, The Science of Mind, we say it is obvious that there is something more than change that is the great constant from which all change comes. So today we might ask ourselves, what in this reality that we are part of remains constant? What is always there, always present? What is true for all times and in all places and in all situations? What is the great constant? Because if I'm going to depend on anything, let it be that permanent something. Now that's something big to think about. Because right now, I'm not talking about what do I like right now, because that can change this afternoon. I'm not talking about what political party do I belong to, because that can change. I'm not talking about who do I agree with, who do I like, what do I want. That changes. God knows all of that changes constantly. Kevin would not eat salmon. He didn't like it. It was self-evident to him that if he put it in his mouth, it was going to come back out. And not in a pleasant way. And then one day he said to me, if I truly have agency and freedom over my experience, and if it is true, if it is possible for us to change our experience by changing our mind, I will eat salmon. And he did. Now, I can report to you that he has not fallen in love with it. But he is no longer a prisoner living in fear of the taste of salmon. Now, I mention that because I think of Kevin when I start talking about self-evident constant truths. To remind myself, I'm not talking about my personality, my tastes, and my preferences. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about that which doesn't change with my moods and my habits. That which doesn't change from city to city. That which doesn't change from culture to culture. That which is the same today in my 60s as it was in my 20s. In science of mind, we call that life or reality. And we consider it to be an obvious and true statement that there is a power for good in the universe, life, that is equally available in all times and in all places and under all circumstances, evenly distributed throughout all that is, expressing itself as you and as me, and in all that is consistently. And all that is comes from this power for good. Now call that the Creator, if you like, or call it God, if you like. And if you like, you can say, as I do, it endows everything with its own nature and causes everything to be an individual part of one unified reality. There's the mystery. Individual, but equally endowed with the same spiritual something. No one more, no one less. No thing more, no thing less. And not only that, but also the spiritual nature that we are endowed with cannot be altered, deleted, canceled, removed, diluted, filtered, reduced, corrupted. And that is why we say our spiritual nature is inalienable. It cannot be taken away. It cannot be given away. It is absolute. It is unchanging. It is not negotiable. It is untransferable. It is inherent. It cannot be surrendered. It cannot be destroyed. And then here comes the but. But it can be forgotten. It can be ignored. It can be overlooked. Not only that, but what you and I do with this awesome reality that is our lives, that is where our freedom and our agency comes into play. Because you know how it is. We can know something is self-evident and ignore it. We can know something is bad for us and do it. We can be clear that something is correct and do something else completely. So when we, the people, do not live in alignment with that which is self-evident, and I'm talking about the obvious spiritual truth of our oneness, that's when we do weird stuff. So spiritual practice is whatever we do to get clear on the self-evident nature of the divine and then to live from it, not forget it. Spiritual practice is whatever you do, whatever I do, that allows me to be guided and inspired and motivated by the self-evident spiritual nature of life and not ignore it, so that my actions and my thoughts and my deeds and my choices lead to that which is harmonious with spiritual life. And to do that, I must turn to it regularly. And that is what practice means. The regular turning to that great constant. Or we can say spiritual practice is whatever you do to train your awareness, to pay attention to the obvious truth of your spiritual oneness until the awareness of that oneness displaces anything unlike it, and all you are left with is a solid, sure, definite feeling of the presence of a power that is greater than you are, that is around you and through you and in you, that looks back at you when you look at life. And spiritual practice can be as simple as taking time to sit still and to say to yourself something like, the divine spirit within me is wholeness. It is complete, as it was yesterday, is now, and ever shall be. It is the spirit of infinite possibility and peace within me, and I recognize that spirit moving in my life. It, being divine wholeness, has no want and has no fear. It, within me, being divine completeness, has no limitation and no doubt. It, within me, as part of the everywhere present, all-knowing whatever it is always right where I am. So I say to myself, you can talk to yourself this way. So I say to myself, there is that within me which guides me into harmony with life. And I let that divine spirit within me use me, like the song says, using whatever method it may to restore me to perfect wholeness and happiness, to bring into my experience that which is good and true. Now, these words, I practically know them from memory. They're an adaptation of words from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, who wrote the book, The Science of Mind. And I want to take a minor detour today and talk a little bit about one of the phrases in that passage. Here it is. I let that divine within me, and here comes the phrase, using whatever method it may, restore me, these words, using whatever method it may. This is a very, very important teaching of the science of mind. It stands as a reminder to me that when my attention is firmly rooted in oneness through my spiritual practice, then I become open to my good coming into being revealed to me through whatever method it does. Whether that thing is a pill, or a doctor, or physical exercise, or diet, or therapy, or something that has not yet been discovered, or something else that I have not yet considered, or something else I don't yet know, because I am now, through my spiritual practice, open to the infinite, endless, amazing, creative genius that I call the universe. In other words, my practice leads me to place no limits on how the universe reveals itself to me for the good of all. So I try in my practice to adopt an attitude of openness to possibility, to revelation, so that my thoughts and choices are grounded more in wholeness and less in ego manipulation. Oh, that phrase. Using whatever method it may. It reminds me of a story that I've told, let's say in 30-something years, maybe 100 times. So I have to tell it again. It's the story of the man sitting on his roof in the flood. You know the story. He's sitting on the roof, it's raining and the water is rising. He is a believer in the divine. And he prays to be delivered by the divine. And a rowboat comes along, and the man says in the rowboat, "Jump in, I will take you to safety." And he says, "I have prayed. God will save me." And the water continues to rise. Another boat comes along, and there's a woman rowing, and she says, "Get in." And he says, "I have prayed, and I will be delivered according to my faith." And the water rises, and a helicopter comes, drops down a ladder, says, "Get in, it's your last chance." And he says, "I have prayed." And he drowns. And when he is in an interview with the divine presence, he said, "What happened?" And the divine presence, well, she says to him, "I'm as confused as you are. I sent 2 boats and a helicopter. What were you expecting?" See, I have to tell that story to myself over and over and over again because it's a reminder to me to welcome life while it is using whatever method that it may to reveal its inherent goodness as my life and to present to me possibilities and options. You know, this is another one of those well-known stories. Someone asked our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, "If you believe in the power of thought to reveal wholeness, why do you wear glasses?" To which he answered, "Because I can't see a darn thing without them." He saw glasses as an answer to wholeness. And through the glasses, he was able to see more of the wholeness of creation. In crystal clarity, he considered glasses to be a form of answered prayer. And when it is said that when people would ask him about medicine, should we take medicine if we believe in the healing power of the mind? Apparently he answered, "If the pill helps, take it." He saw medical science as one of the ways that the divine reveals itself. He saw science as one of the answers, the possible answers to prayer. Life to him was and is and always will use whatever method it may, a canoe, a powerboat, a helicopter, glasses, medication, to reveal the path of wholeness. Now, when I use the word life here, I mean life with an uppercase capital letter L. I'm talking about the one life. I mean the creative intelligence of the universe. I mean the divine. I mean the ground of all being. I mean the Holy Spirit. I mean the creative genius of the universe. And I mean to anchor my life in that life through spiritual practice until it becomes the self-evident truth of my life. I have to do that because I can get myself into trouble. You know, when I forget this spiritual truth of oneness, because I start to think it's all up to me and up to my mind and my plans and my thinking to figure stuff out. And so I start making plans about how things should be. And then when my plans don't work out, I feel like I've failed spiritually. Does anybody identify? Just the new assistant minister. When typically what is really happening is that life is trying every darn possible way to reveal itself to me as an answer without taking away my independence, my choice, my freedom. So in my spiritual practice, I remind myself, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my action. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. So I'm going to pay attention in a new way. Let me pay kind-hearted, curious, excited attention to what is life trying to reveal to me for my good and for the good of all, because it's never about me alone. I'm expecting the natural wholeness of life to reveal itself to me, to us. And I know that there are many, many, many ways that my prayer, that my demand on life can be revealed to me. And I want to stay open and available to it. It is the self-evident truth of our spiritual teaching that we are surrounded by a powerful good greater than we are. So let me ask myself, what ought I to be paying attention to, and what ought I to be letting in? And at the same time, I want to remain authentic and real about those times when the process of healing and growing is just awful. You know, when it seems like no canoe and no helicopter is coming. Or when it feels like things are stuck or getting worse. You know those times? And it can feel like inner peace is flown out the window. And I want to remember that, you see, because I want to know that there is a place for everyone here, no matter what is going on in our consciousness, especially during those times when we are feeling less than clear, less than whole, less than perfect, less than complete. Because don't you know, when I feel sure somebody else doesn't, and when I feel lost somebody else knows the way, we're in it together. The spiritual truth of our being doesn't elevate one of us above the other because of what we're going through. You can say amen. Yes, it is true that we teach that our thought is creative. Yes, it is true that we teach that we participate in creating the world to be the way it is. And yes, it is true that we teach we can change our attitude and change our appreciation of salmon. And here is the part that is sometimes forgotten. And we also teach the importance of being compassionate with ourselves and with each other when we are facing the difficulties and challenges of life, because we know that when we are going through stuff, we don't always show up as our best. We don't always behave like the high-minded spiritual beings that we are clearly capable of being. See, I'm thinking about our nation right now, our world. You may have noticed people are feeling stressed or slightly edgy. Irritation is really easy to spark and flare up. The lack of focus and the inability to stay centered. One might say of another one, you're not showing up as the spiritual being. You're not being as high-minded, as centered as you could be. Because stress can do that, whether it's from politics or a divorce or illness or a relationship or one of the social stresses that flaring up in our faces. We're going through, I might say, one of the dark nights of the soul. That in the end, I trust, will transform us and reveal our inherent oneness again. Our country is working through some challenging changes and growth. It's as if the wholeness we claim to believe in is educating us about what wholeness means. And it is educating us, as if it is educating us by bringing our blocks to oneness right up into the open. And while we are working through it, it sometimes seems we are not able to keep our focus on our interconnectedness or our diversity or our shared humanity. All the things that are at the heart of being America. But I say it is another temporary departure. And I say that it is up to people of faith to remain constant with the great constant by saying to ourselves, divine life is consistently revealing itself to me for the good of all. I am available to it and more aware of it every day. It is my nature. It is my way, and I will not depart from it. There is a practice we can use. It's based on a Buddhist practice, and it goes something like this. It can help us be constant with the great constant of life. Throughout the day, at any time, try looking at anyone that you encounter and then silently offer them this blessing. May you be happy. Or when in traffic or standing in line, silently offer a blessing to random people. May you be well. Or when you're in a disagreement with somebody on the news, silently offer this blessing. May you be peaceful and at ease. Or when you feel alone or angry or sad, simply offer this reminder to yourself. There is a powerful good in the universe, and it is revealing itself as oneness through me constantly. I'd like to bring our time together with a prayer from our Prayers of Wisdom and Vision. And if you don't have one of these, they're available in the social hall. This is for this week, the week of July 4th. I invite you to breathe in and let your eyes close as you exhale. There is a powerful goodness that is unlimited in its reach. This power creates life in every moment, and it creates it from its generosity and its love. It joins all of life in unity and connection. It is all-inclusive and everywhere present, and this power is flowing through me. It flows through me as my love and my generosity. These are my inheritance. I am one with all of life. Right now, in this moment, through this prayer, I accept a greater realization of the power within me. I accept it is revealing peace and love in my life. And through this prayer, I am affirming that I am a presence, a conduit for this peace and love. In this way, unity and connection govern all my relationships, and I am generous with my thoughts, with my attention, and with my focus. And so I gently clear my mind of any ideas that do not serve this great goodness, and I enter into a state of spiritual vision. I hold the highest and best outcome foremost in my awareness. And I value the gifts of spirit and use them wisely. I rejoice in the knowledge and understanding of this revelation of truth. And with a grateful and humble heart, I accept it as already true and done. And then we bring our time to prayer by saying the formula that means Amen. We say it together. And so it is. I invite you to let the next breath you take be a little deeper than the one before. And as you exhale into a moment of contemplation, I invite you to be still with me for just a moment. And then another breath. As we return to the activity of the room, I even invite you just to take a look around at all the beautiful souls that are traveling with you in this journey. our community. And indeed, this is our moment of community building. So we have some announcements, and so I'm just delighted to invite the Reverend Russ Legear to come up here and tell us a little bit about what's going on in our community as he himself learns what's going on in our community. Welcome up, Reverend Russ.
There we go. All right. I was going to say you all are so beautiful, but I need to say it louder. Well, hello, everyone. I am Reverend Russ Legear, and I'm so excited to be joining you as your new assistant minister. And this has been a dream of mine for a long time. One might say that it was one of those self-evident truths that I couldn't ignore anymore. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you, to getting to know us, our beautiful community, a lot better. And let's do that with some announcements, shall we? So this Wednesday, July 7th at 7 p.m. is Wednesday Night Live, and Dr. Edward is going to be interviewing me at a special Wednesday Night Live program. And while I have a little bit of say over what Dr. Edward's going to ask me, there might just be some surprises. So be sure to tune in. That's going to be on Zoom at 7 p.m., and I promise that will be a wonderful opportunity for you to get to know me better. And last week, our president of the board, the fabulous Nancy Reynolds, told us about the opportunity to raise funds for a camp and retreat center for our movement, the Centers for Spiritual Living. The information is on our website, and you still have time to participate, so go check that out. And our monthly conversation about death and dying, called Full Circle, is not meeting this afternoon. So that gathering will be returning in August. And you're always welcome to attend after-service prayer on Zoom. Our practitioners look forward to welcoming you into this powerful confidential prayer. And when you get home after service today, you can go online to our website, find the yellow button called New Sunday Links, and it will guide you to the after-service prayer. Now, in a moment, we'll see some video announcements, but here's a quick preview of what's coming up. Our wonderful practitioner, Kathy Galvin, is going to be telling us about the spiritual checkup that she is giving our community as a gift. How wonderful is that? It's called Spiritual Renewal. And then next, Reverend Joyce DeFalla is going to tell us about lunchtime learning. And finally, Dr. Kim Kaiser's class called The Science of Spirit and Ecology is going to be starting on July 13th, and he's going to tell us about that. So please enjoy the rest of the announcements, and thank you so much for being part of our wonderful spiritual community. I look forward to seeing all of you on Wednesday evening. Let's break Zoom. Everybody can log on, and blessings to you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Galvin, a prayer practitioner here at the Center. Once again, the Center's practitioners are offering a practitioner session at no charge. This summer spiritual renewal is our gift to the congregation and staff. You know, we practitioners are pleased to offer the 5-minute prayers after service, but we love to do extended sessions. Then we get to converse with you and help you uncover and pray for that one thing you really want most right now. Health, wealth, happiness are just waiting for you to accept and express them. See the homepage of our website for simple registration instructions to sign up for a Zoom appointment on Saturday, July 10th. What a great way to celebrate the lifting of restrictions of all kinds and move into a new and wonderful normal. Blessings.
Hi, Reverend Joyce DeFalla here with Spiritual Liberation, Fulfilling Your Soul's Potential by Reverend Michael Beckwith. Even before chapter 1 begins, he provides us with this quote: "The world all around me was falling down, and when it crumbled, I saw higher ground. Something happened inside of me. I stepped into my true identity. So if any of that resonates with you, please feel free to Zoom with me in July on Wednesdays at noon, every Wednesday, any Wednesday, for free lunchtime learning.
You know, as we come back together as a community, the whole nation is entering into a new way of being. We've changed in the time that we've been apart. And what we are to be is going to unfold as we come back together. As this is happening, I've been asking this question, which I suspect many of us are asking. How do I fit in to this new world? What has been changing? And new issues have been raised in a way they never were before. Climate change and fires locally being an example of the kinds of changes that we now address at a new level of understanding and appreciation. This class, which we could simply call the Spirit of Ecology, really is about the scientific and spiritual principles that the natural world follows, and how this all works together with our practice of science of mind. So if you're asking yourself this question, how do I participate in this new world? What am I being asked to do? What is it that is going on? And how do I learn to appreciate and participate even more deeply? Please come to the class. Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, July 13th.
It is time for us to close our service. After the benediction, we'll have a final song. After the song, the doors of the sanctuary will open. You're welcome to exit in any direction you like. So for now, will you say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and inspired by a presence that expresses itself through your life. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the closing song.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be guitar playing. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be